So this is my La Pieta comic book cover collection. La Pieta was a sculpture done by Michelangelo of Jesus holding Mary, and there have been a lot of takeoffs or homages to that. I'll go through some of my favorites, like this Invaders, which I still remember that story from when I had that as a kid in the 70s. And of course, things like saying, "Have you seen my giant-sized man?" thing. I always like to say. Of course, these are some of the more classic covers on the top, the two lowest lanes that came out, you know, not too many months after one another. And some of my favorites covers being this Thor and the Submariner. I've always liked the Submariner. There are a lot of X-Men in this pose. I have at least half a dozen. And this Amazing Spider-Man is great because you'll see in a minute there's a newer version of the death of Captain Stacy. This Obnoxio the Clown is a takeoff on a famous X-Men cover, which I'll show you in a minute. And the reason this Twilight Zone is here is I've always liked the Twilight Zone, but this doesn't technically fit my description or my criteria because the woman is alive and not dead in that, but I just have a thing for the Twilight Zone. This new Teen Titans was made in conjunction with the Keebler Cookie Company, and proceeds were given to fight drug abuse. This is one of the most famous La Pieta covers, Crisis on Infinite Earths, number 7. You'll see there's a sun in the background, a lot of people standing in the background, and you'll see quite a few more like that. Emergency number 1, I always like that TV show. And of course, being Canadian, I have to have a Captain Canuck up here. This Sergeant Rock I just got today at a little comic show in Toronto for $1, so I was happy about that. Here's the death of Captain Stacy again, a newer version. There's also lots of Superman takeoffs of the same thing, as you'll see. Even The Simpsons got into it with Radioactive Man. And some funny Supermans. Here, that last Superman and this Mighty Mouse have that sun in the background and lots of people surrounding them. Here's that famous X-Men. This was one of the few that I paid more than $20 for. That one was actually $25. My rule is to only get my comics in dollar bins or pay up to $5 unless it's a key comic, when I'll go up to 20. And in 2 cases I went up to 25. This Captain Marvel is actually a Thor. You'll see it's a lenticular cover. If I go like that, there, it's the Thor, so that's pretty cool. The Captain Marvel only came out in a what's it called, in a book format. This Marvel Triple Action I just bought the other day, also for $1. It was a great find. And this Challengers of the Unknown is one of the oldest ones that I have. Although I did give my father a Lone Ranger La Pieta cover, and I framed it for him because he's a big Lone Ranger fan. And he realized that I'm collecting these, so he's actually going to give it back to me. And I have to find something else to trade him for it. So I'm looking forward to getting that back, because that will be one of my oldest comics. That one was from the early 50s. Some more X-Men. Now today I did see some others in this local show that I went to, but they were just too much money. Anything from the 50s and 60s was more than $20, and I wasn't willing to spend that. This Captain Atom and this Pandora and even this Extreme X-Men are more representative of what Michelangelo's statue actually looks like. And here's another takeoff on that Crisis one with the big circle sun or moon in the background. And another one very much like the Michelangelo one. Oh, I'm getting into a bunch of dollar bin comics right now, and some recent ones. I don't know if that tango is really a La Pieta. I don't know if that girl's really dead, but I bought it. Again, dollar bin stuff. Why not? Oh, this is the newest comic, the Spider-Man. And my Death of Wolverine, there's actually a Holy Grail that I want, which is a Canadian variant with a bunch of Canadian flags in the background. I have some of the other Death of Wolverine variants, but not that one. I haven't seen it yet, so that will be on my list. It is on my list. Anyways, hope you enjoyed this, and happy collecting. Here's everything again, and that's it. Bye.